Go Blue, everyone. Ohio State can't handle losing? What a shock. New developments, including the Central Michigan notice of allegations and more, Big Ten Media Days recap, and even more coming up next on Michigan Wolverines Live. And thanks, everybody, for coming back for another episode of Michigan Wolverines Live. It's Tuesday, July 29th, 2025, episode 210. And I'm John Diadamo, and I'm going to be taking you through the next hour and a half or so. You can find me on Twix at John Diadamo. And catch us live. We're on YouTube right now. We're on X. We're on Twitch. But don't forget that we sound good on radio. So go to Apple, Spotify, Amazon, or iHeart and listen to us on your commute. Check it out. It's a great time. Also, leave a rating or review. That would be really nice. As you join us, go ahead and hit that like button. It only takes a second. And guess what else? It's free. That's the best part. It's free to hit the like button. So go ahead and do that. Subscribe. Hit the subscribe button, hit the bell to get notified when we're live, and also share this out with a friend. If you need some help, there's a little visual aid on what you can do there. Like, subscribe, hit the bell, and share this YouTube link out with at least one friend. Finally, we're going to highlight super chats. So if you have a comment, you have a question, the best way and kind of the only way to get it on screen is to super chat. Can be $1.99, can be whatever, but go ahead and hit that super chat, and then we'll be ready to read it on air. And that does it. Let's bring on TJ for what has been an absolute, as always, banger last couple of days of content headed right for us with Connor Stalions and Central Michigan and Jack Sawyer. It's great stuff, TJ. How you doing?
Doing great, John. Excited. I've been waiting all day to do the pod, just see everybody. Football is here. Camp is here, bro. We got the Lions in 2 days, which I know my guy in the chat was, I know the guy in the chat was saying the same thing. Let's go, bro. And a lot of good shit is happening. Like, we have so much to talk about. I'm excited to hit on all of it. News is starting to pick up. We're getting a lot of tidbits, like in terms of jersey changes and things like that. We're going to get into that. And then also, I want to just give a shout out. I was at the Tigers game this Saturday. We did lose, but still had a great time. I met some fans of the show, Jason and Shelly McBride. Shout out to you guys. I had an excellent time. We ran it like it was just such a coincidence. We were in the same row. I was on my way to go to the concessions, and they're like, "Hey, we watched your show." I was like, "Oh, so we just linked up." And then I also want to give a shout out to their friend Susan. Let's not forget that.
Susan.
It was excellent. So shout out to you guys. I already made plans with them. When I go to the game for Ohio State, I'll be tailgating with them. So looking forward to that. And hell yeah. And word to anybody, you guys ever, we had this happen at the spring game. Me and John were talking. Some people said they saw us, but they didn't want to come up to us. They didn't want to bug. Listen, if you see us in public, come up, say what's up. We all love it. So yeah, man, it was a good time this weekend. Had a blast.
Absolutely. Well, great that you saw some fans. That's awesome feedback that they said. And it means a lot. And it's not just, obviously, we hear it from people like Kenji right here. Tuesdays and Thursdays, the best days of the week. That means the world. And you know what else means the world? Bob Alexander, before the show even started, signing up for a YouTube membership. Thank you, Bob, for the Leaders and Best tier membership and for throwing a $2 super sticker on one of the videos, too. So I did make sure to respond to that. Thank you, Bob, for joining our membership. And anyone can join our membership. I'll put the link right in the chat for us. Boom. And TJ is working on his mic as we speak. So let's hit these first couple of super chats. Elisha, fall camp is here. That's right, folks. They have checked in. They are clocked in at the Locked In Factory. That's what they are, folks. The players are headed to fall camp to start their workouts and all of that good stuff at Schembeckler Hall in Ann Arbor. Thank you, Elisha, for the $1.99. Hail to the blue, also with the $1.99. Really appreciate that. Thank you so much. And of course, we have some hate talk from Steve. Always great to get Steve hate watching about the Connor Stallions. So for his benefit, why don't we play the encouragement, Connor Stallions himself encouraging people to join the Connor Stallions Espionage tier of membership.
What's up, guys? Connor Stallions here. Appreciate you for being a part of the highest tier, the Connor Stallions team. Appreciate you. Go Blue. We need you dialed in this year. We got to make another deep run into March, ideally into April this year. Go Blue. And also, we're going for 5 in a row against the Buckeyes in football. And let's get back in the playoffs and win this thing again. Go Blue. Keep being great.
Keep being great. And if you want to be great, you can join the Connor Stallions Espionage tier at $9.99 a month, which gets you access to actually helping steer the show. So we roll out posts every 30 days, 60 days to ask for any ideas that Connor Stallions tier has. So you guys get to contribute and be a part of the making of the show. But you can start anywhere, $4.99, $2.99. Getting access to our monthly member streams is the $4.99 tier. So go ahead and hit that up. It would be great, especially because we're almost, believe it or not, folks, at August. And it looks like we've got TJ potentially back. So throw yourself up when you're ready, TJ. Perfect. Okay. There we go. Looks like the layout changed for a sec, but we got you back.
Yeah.
All right.
I don't know if I don't, for some reason, if my computer's on all day and I don't restart it, my microphone messes up. So here we are. We're back, ready to go.
Yeah. There's some talk about Justin Spyro in the chat, and Spyro, in fact, did an arts and crafts project on a couple of my tweets.
Mm-hmm.
Of course, forgetting that the first tweet was said in February 2023 about NIL. So it was a little bit of a different time back then. I don't know if people know that that 2.5 years ago was a different time, but it was. Okay. So it's okay to change your mind.
Well, guess what? When the verdict comes out and if things go as we anticipate they will, we'll be cooking them. So he will not be, he won't be, what's the word I'm looking for? Exonerated. He will be, we will handle all the receipts. So, and I'm sure he will be a main target for many of it. And we're not holding back because as we will talk about in this show, John, there seems to be more and more building towards Michigan is not the focal point of some of the bigger issues of the Connor Stallions saga, but we'll get into that as the show goes on.
Yeah, and why don't we start with the Trevor McHugh story? Trevor McHugh from Maize and Blue Review on 3, talking about the notice of allegations that Central Michigan had received from the NCAA. Now, quick fun fact, they are going through, they say, a negotiated resolution with the NCAA, but what's more important about this document and about the release is what was said about the Connor Stallions at CMU issue. So essentially, their investigation started a little after Michigan's, and there were multiple delays for long periods, essentially because no one was talking. So they did get their NOA June 27th, and essentially there are no ties involving Michigan in that NOA. And so Trevor went on the boards to essentially say that the only possible theoretical tie-in is the Jim Harbaugh tie-in, which we already said he was probably getting a lifetime ban from college football and make the NCAA feel good. But the bottom line is, folks, it sounds like they're kind of treating the Connor Stallions CMU thing as its own thing, which it just continues to show that it was more of a lone wolf operation. and the CMU thing isn't really going to be as much of a factor as people thought. Buckeye Scoop, you're on notice. What are your thoughts, TJ?
Yeah, well, I mean, look, the NCAA has served Central Michigan with a notice of allegations stemming from the Connor Stalions investigation. If you watched our show for the last year, we have been telling you since August that Connor Stalions was invited by Jake Costa, the quarterback coach? Is that the correct coach's name, John?
Jake Costner. Yeah.
Jake Costner, the quarterback coach. That is who invited Connor Stalions to that sideline, guys. It was not Michigan. He was there on behalf of Central Michigan. We have said that. We've said that for over a year. People have, rivals have doubted that. Well, guess what? Well. Who just got a notice of allegations, John?
CMU.
Because Michigan was not aware of that fucking situation. And that's what these stupid ass Buckeyes fail to realize and have failed to realize. And it's why I'm going to be collecting my money in August. I'm telling you, they're going to take the hardest out in August. That situation that they love to bring up, because that is the only evidence they have that Connor Stalions did any advanced scouting, truthfully, because he was on the sideline. But he was there again on behalf of Central Michigan, invited by Jake Costner, the quarterback coach who was formerly on U of M staff, no longer there, was let go last year. So again, man, another example where Michigan, it does appear, now we don't fully know yet until everything comes to light in the next week or 2 or 3 or 4. But once that comes to light, we'll have a better idea. But it does appear, John, that the NCAA, which you mentioned earlier, is looking at the Central Michigan situation as a separate thing than the actual Michigan situation, because Michigan was not aware, not the coaching staff, not the university, none of it. It's because Connor Stalions was literally working independently on that one. Because why? Because Connor Stalions is the best in the fucking game, bro. So because he has a good relationship with Jay Costner, he invited him over there, and Connor Stalions was like, yeah, sure. I would love to try and take down little brother. Of course he would. So it is what it is. That situation's where it is. And just so, the Buckeyes understand, you do not get team gear unless you have an in. Like, he didn't just dress up and show up on the sideline. He was invited, right? So that is why that is an extremely interesting situation. I think, my opinion, because until it becomes truly public and official by the NCAA, it is nothing but assumption. But in my opinion, John, this bodes very well for Michigan. It is very good that the NCAA looks at the Central Michigan sideline incident as a separate incident that is involving Central Michigan. So we'll see where it goes, John. Obviously, we'll know more in the coming weeks, but I would say this is a positive for us, and it only shows when you add, and we talked about this before the show, John, I want to hit on this and I'll let you hit it, but when you add that the NCAA has sent a notice of allegations to Central Michigan, and then you add the Tony Petitti letter that all these rivals like, oh, what does it mean anything? He conference commissioners, they stand up for their programs all the time when they're going against the NCAA, except the letter there's been no additional evidence found. So when you add no additional evidence found, and you add that the NCAA is narrowing on Central Michigan for the sideline incident, it's looking fucking good, boys. You know what I mean? So the Buckeyes are going to have a very hard August, to me, is what I believe, John. I believe the Buckeyes are going to have a very hard August. What is your thoughts on that?
Yeah. So the last 2 weeks, I've had quite a few Buckeyes on X, Spyro included in this, as he's best friends with the Buckeyes because his team goes 4-8 every year. But essentially, these Buckeyes don't understand how the NCAA bylaws work, because we have said all along that there is one bylaw at question here in the whole matter, 1161 of the NCAA bylaws. In that bylaw, it is written, it's implied that the people scouting, quote unquote, in-person scouting, it needs to be full-time staff. So Connor Stalions being one, okay, I thought that the CMU game was really the only actual evidence that 1161 was violated in any way. If they're treating that as a separate matter for CMU, and Michigan didn't know, and they can't prove that Michigan knew, then there is literally no evidence that they have even broken a rule. There's literally no actionable evidence that I see, right, that a rule was violated under my reading, which is you have to be a full-time staff to do this scouting. Because the rule that would have explicitly banned recording in a third-party capacity was rescinded 12 years ago. So that would have been an open and shut case if that was still on the books. Well, yeah, then in that case, you can say Stalions' mom, Stalions' buddies, etc. are third party. And so if there was a ban on that, that's one thing. But that was taken off the books. You can third party record till your heart's content now. So the bottom line is, do I think there's going to be punishment? Yes. Do I think that they're going to be able to find some flimsy ties to? Yes. Do I think that Sharon Moore is going to have to eat a couple of games because he deleted text messages? Yeah. But I don't see a huge hammer coming. I still don't. I'm still waiting for the smoking gun 2 years later.
No vacated wins and no bowl bans, and I'm about to make some fucking money on that. So, and when we do our receipt show, which we will, and I'm telling you guys, hey, fans of the community, bookmark your receipts for the show. If you have a premium account, you can even put bookmarks in folders. Let's go, because I will also be publicly calling out the people I have made bets with, because we're gonna be collecting money that night as well, John. So yeah, it's gonna be a good time, and this goes both ways. I'm wrong, I'm paying out live on air. We'll pay him out live on air. A Lannister always pays his debts, no problem. I'll pay it. If I'm wrong, I'll pay my debts, but I'm not. So we'll see where it goes, John, but I'm looking forward to it. I'm feeling more optimistic as we get there, but to maybe pause optimism until the NCAA releases what they have. We'll see, but I feel optimistic about it. I do. I think the way things are setting up, leading up to the reveal, things seem to be promising. Not, there hasn't been any leaks that have made me feel uncomfortable. Yeah.
And you're right. Like, we have to wait and see what the actual punishment is. We're still waiting. Right. Hopefully in August we'll find out.
Let's state what we think it is, because I feel we're going to be right. 4 games for Sharon Moore. We think there's going to be a bit large fine. We think there's going to be
8-figure fine. Yep.
Yeah. Show causes for Stalions, Harbaugh, and Chris Partridge. And we think there'll be some form of recruiting restrictions and likely visitations, whether they be official visits or not official visits, but a potentially available visit weekends for recruits to visit us. And also, like we saw with the cheeseburger burger gate, there could be some limitations on coaches going to see recruits, maybe like 3-4 weeks, like we saw before, something like that. That's it. Not vacated wins, not postseason bans, not loss of national titles, none of that shit. So, yeah, and you have my word. You have my word that we're going to make the rivals never forget this bullshit. I promise that. I might even bring it up every show for the rest of my life. Like, I may start the show every fucking time saying, hammer coming, hammer coming, hammer coming. And we really do need to buy the inflatable hammers. Like, we really need to start that movement. We need to start that movement, John. Swear to God, I am going to have my inflatable hammer in November when that Ohio State game happens. I will have an inflatable hammer.
I love it. And like we said, we're gonna have a call-in show to discuss this, no matter the outcome. If Michigan has, if Michigan somehow, and again, I don't think any of this is, Buckeye Scoop still thinks it's going to be a vacated wins for 3 years and a title vacated and all of this. If all of that stuff happens, we're going to be on air taking L's.
Yep. L's.
And if the opposite happens and it's barely anything, we're going to be on air reading receipts and taking calls. And that's just how it's going to be no matter what.
Talking mad shit. Mad shit. We're probably gonna create a lot of enemies on that show, but it's okay. Can't say I'm worried about it.
Absolutely. We do have some more super chats and stuff we would definitely want to hit here. Elisha Bowman, 199. Thank you for that. Channing Goodwin's number is now number 9.
Single digits. Moving up. Yeah, moving up. My theory from spring, and actually somebody asked me about it on Twitter. I had Channing Goodwin ahead of Fred Moore. We'll see. That'll play out in fall camp. We'll see where that goes. But it is interesting to see him get a single digit number.
Yeah, and we've talked about this a couple of times. We were at the spring game. We had that post game show live from Ann Arbor at the across the street from the Big House. And we basically said one thing that we noticed was that the chemistry between Bryce Underwood and Channing Goodwin is really strong. It seemed like they had some type of dynamic where they were just on fire and they got each other. And so I would say, and we're going to talk about wide receivers in the Big Ten Media Days recap, but watch out, because I don't think anybody's safe as a starter, and Channing Goodwin could easily take a job if this chemistry continues at the highest level.
Easily. Now so I'm really interested to see, what do we hear out of camp? What players are stepping up? Is it Andrew Marsh? Is it Jamar Browder? Is it Channing Goodwin? Like, who is it? Is it Samaj Morgan's season? Elijah Bowman and Samaj the Flame Morgan? By the way, did anyone see the Champion Circle does these social media posts when they sign athletes? And they said he can't be touched regarding Samaj Morgan. I thought Elijah would love that one.
That's amazing. Thank you, Elisha. Yeah, Elisha, he always goes after the wide receivers. Even he might be the only one more critical of the wide receiver room than I've been. So kudos there. That's a high bar. John M. Thank you, John M. John M. just became a Connor Stalions Espionage member. So we had Connor on earlier today. We had the Connor video while you were gone, TJ. Connor was encouraging everyone to join that tier. And then John M. went ahead, listened to Connor, went ahead and hit that join button and became a member of Connor Stalions Espionage. And he also had a comment that accompanied it, which is, you guys have been right on so much since I've been following your work over the last year. Cuckeye Scoop, you are on notice. Go Blue. Thank you, John M. Go
Appreciate
Blue.
that. And I want to hit on that. So the rest of the show, you're going to see a theme, because me and John were going through the outline before the entire show, and we're like, damn, we have been on top of every single one of these topics going back. Any of our regulars, you'll know, like to the Connor to the CMU sideline thing. Anyone who's watched our show knows we have discussed how Connor Stalions got on that sideline. We didn't hide it. We shared it with our members. We've shared it publicly. We've been on that for a minute. And then the other topics we're going to hit on, like Donovan McCulley and some others, you'll see. Listen, the one thing about our show is, look, are we always right? No. But do we hit for average? You better believe it. You better believe it. That's one thing I'm actually very proud. One of the things I appreciate about doing this most is, listen, man, it's public. You give your takes, and it's you're either going to look like a fool, or you're going to look like you have some knowledge. You know a little ball, right? So that's one thing I like about it. I like the pressure of having to stand on your position and own it, and if you're fucking wrong, then you could get roasted, bro. I kind of enjoy that. I kind of like that pressure. So we're here for it. We're going to keep bringing it and doing our best with it at the same time.
Listen, we make no apologies. We have strong opinions on this show.
Yep.
And we say them with our whole chest, and we back them up by evidence. And if anyone has a problem with that, there's a couple of routes you can take, including starting your own show. That we encourage everybody to go out and put out their own content, however you want to make it. But we're going to make ours the way that we see fit, and we're going to make ours based on strong opinions, evidence, and talking to sources and doing what we do. Big J journalism here at Voice of College Football Michigan channel.
And, and just giving our best. And here's the key too. We give our best perspective from what we know. That is it. Like when we talk about, for example, we're going to talk about the defensive line. We've been talking since spring ball about how deep this thing is. No one told us that. It's just from understanding what we have. We're going to get into Donovan McCulley. Well, if anyone was watching our show since December, you would know how I have felt about Donovan McCulley. But we'll get into I don't want to reveal all the surprises. We'll get into it, man.
Austin Springer. So thank you for this comment. I still can't become a member. I've been trying for 2 weeks. So Austin, have no fear because I have just pinned the link to become a member. So we do recommend using desktop or laptop because on the phone it can be a lot harder. You basically have to go into a Safari browser and you can't use the YouTube app. You got to go into, so it's a little harder to do it on your phone. I recommend using a laptop, a desktop, and then just click that link, pick a tier and go. One of our 3 tiers. So let us know, Austin, if you continue to have issues. We'll watch the chat for any follow-up there, but I've pinned it in chat now. So you should be able to click that link in chat. All right, but thank you for asking about that, Austin. We got some more. Elisha with the $4.99. I found the hammer that the Buckeyes have been crying about. It's located on a clearance rack at Burlington. Hashtag spam inside zone on 4th and goal. Let's go.
Fucking clowns. Oh my God, dude. And wait till we get to the Jack Sawyer topic.
Oh, yeah.
I swear to God, bro, there's something wrong with that fan base.
They can't handle
that whole from coach to player to fan base. It's just something's wrong, man.
Yeah, it's wild. And I will say, on the positive front, we got Steve here making an admission that we actually are okay. Stand up guys, he says.
Yeah, I want to give a shout out to Steve. Me and him, we go back and forth, but it's all respect and all love. He's a Buckeye, which again, Buckeyes are welcome. We don't hate Buckeyes. We actually, we respect the rivalry. But listen, he's very critical of us, but he's very honest about us as well. So that's one thing I appreciate, Steve. Appreciate you, man. I know, and listen, I see you coming at me all the time, but I appreciate it when you give us our credit and our respect. I appreciate that.
Yeah. And by the way, you're welcome back into YouTube. I've changed that dial so you can come back. So you can actually come back into the chat. I did that a while ago, so you're welcome to pop right back in. But watch yourself. Follow we only have 3 rules, folks. Real easy, and everyone today has been doing it, and I appreciate that. Elisha with the $4.99. Michigan State are investing half their NIL funds on scratch tickets at the gas station so they can invest more in NIL. How about that?
Sound investment. I'm sure they're gonna get a winner. They're gonna get a winner, man. They can do it. I believe in them. Just keep scratching.
They paid Mel Tucker. I know he didn't get his full contract because of the phone sex, but he still got paid for those couple of years before the phone sex was put out there. And that was a very significant contract. So he didn't leave and go to LSU after the 2020 season.
Look, I don't want them to get their shit together because if their donors, if they can get their donors to align, if their athletic department get the donors to align, then Michigan State could be a respectable program. But dude, they are so dysfunctional. I have zero concerns with Michigan State. They're about to be in a decline. And if Aiden Childs does not develop, they're in trouble. They're already in trouble, but it's about to be ugly bad. Like ugly bad.
Yeah, they need to win this year because their recruiting has gone down the toilet. They're going to be bad after this year.
They may get 7 wins. Maybe.
Yeah, they have to win this year. Or their program's going to be in the it's going to be in the what Indiana used to be before Signetti.
And I really hope the community bookmarks a lot of Michigan State perspectives on the Connor Stalions sign gate shit, because their only victory is through this investigation. they either live through Ohio State, which they're not getting victories there, or it's the NCAA investigation. Fuck both those fan bases, bro. Like, we're going to cook them all. I'm grilling them. I'm grilling them all. We're passing them out. Hot dogs for everybody. F those clowns, dude.
Yeah, just cooked up some hot dogs the other night. Popped open the grill.
Bro, I've been
Got
on
a 10 out of 10.
I've actually been anti-hot dog for a while. Pause. But all right, we're going to go in a different direction. Burgers are great, though. I like cheeseburgers.
Ayo, throw the cheeseburger emoji in the chat, everybody. Let's go. Absolutely. Elisha continues. I rewatched the OSU game yesterday, and I'm guessing you mean the 2024 game. I did too. I don't think people realize how elite this defense is going to be. Barham and Hausman are going to be a problem. Yeah. Derek Moore, Jimmy Rolder, TJ Guy, and the list continues.
Speaking of Barham, so I have this new thing I'm going to start doing whenever I'm just like locking in on a guy. Like, so I made this post today. This was my post today. Speaking of Jayshon Barham, year 2 loading, boys. Year 2 loading, because I really do believe I am very high on Jayshon Barham. To your point, Elijah, I think this defense is about to be so good. I think these linebackers are about to be locked in, fully understanding the defense. I agree. And like, there are people who think Barham did not play well last year. They did not watch Jayshon Barham play from October on. They did not. Because if you watch Jayshon Barham play October on, he was shutting it down, bro. I think he's about to be in for a Big Ten caliber, all Big Ten caliber season. I really do.
I agree with you. My fiance Courtney says, first you like pumpkin spice. Now we've got hot dog slander. Courtney is a big hot dog fan.
Listen, I'm telling you,
especially the Costco $1.50. It's one of our favorite dates. I know listen, it's awesome. You have a hot dog. You have you don't always need to go to $500 places. You can have a hot dog and a Diet Pepsi sometimes.
Listen, I'm a simple man, bro. I just need some Blue Moons, some cheese sticks, and a cheeseburger. I'm a simple man. But I will say, I have been on a bit of a hot dog kick, dude. I've like literally, I'd say in the last month, like I've had them every week. Crazy. And pumpkin, bro. Pumpkin pie, pumpkin cookies. I cannot wait. I love that shit. I'm not gonna lie. I'm a basic bitch when it comes to fall season, bro. I do love me some pumpkins.
Antoine, by the way, I just want to point this out. Antoine has been a long time. I mean, Antoine's been listening to this show since I wasn't even guesting on it yet, years ago. And I haven't seen him super chat. So I want to thank you, Antoine, for super chatting, because that, like, sometimes you can't. Sometimes you just got to sit back and hit the like button. We love you no matter what. But Antoine actually is contributing here, $5. You didn't have to do that. Thank you. So I just want you to know that. I want Michigan to play litany of MC Hammer songs. Hammer, don't hurt him. We need to pray just to make it today.
How funny would it be if they did in November? They did MC Hammer songs. Oh my God, we need this to happen. I need inflatable hammers. I need MC Hammer on the fucking. The speakers. We need that. We need that. That's got to happen. Michigan's, I wish Sharon Moore did not say that planting flag topic. Like, if I ever get an opportunity, like if I'm ever somewhere where like it's a meet and greet or anything, I'm going to be like, Sharon Moore, you got to bring the flag back. You got to bring it back for the people. Got to bring it back.
Yeah, I totally. I'm
trying to plant a flag in Oklahoma, bro.
I
want to plant a flag in Norman.
Hey, listen, Baker Mayfield did it to the Buckeyes, so he started it. He's the one that started all this in the modern college football era. And I love me some Baker Mayfield. I'm gonna be rooting for him this year. I want him to go deep in the playoffs, but I will tell you this: he did kind of open the book for this.
Yeah. And the Michiganers point, not that we're planting the flag at our home game. I'm saying, like, he said we're done planting flags. I'm saying no. Hell no. I want to plant a flag in Norman, Oklahoma, bro. Like, that'd be so epic.
Yeah. We're going to Norman this year. So
Yep.
yeah, we would be able to plant the flag. John M is issuing a correction. Thank you for the 777, by the way. Correction. I didn't even get to see the Connor content. I've been watching on my plane ride. We got John M balling out here on his plane ride, listening to our show, our Dog and Pony show. He's in the air somewhere, probably first class. All right, with some Cristal, and he's listening to Wolverines live. I joined based on correctness, content, and your conviction. Go Blue. Thank you, John M. That means a lot. And let's see here. We got Elisha. If we stay healthy, I believe this defense can be even better than 2023. Wow. If Rod Moore is 100%, that's the if. That's the if right there. If Rod Moore is 100%. And I'm taking Barham and Hausman over Colson and Barrett.
I would too. I think so too.
I think that's a fair take.
The second part, I don't know if it's better than 2023. That was dude. Mason Graham, Kenneth Grant, Will Johnson, Mike Sanderstill, Rod Moore, Junior Cole. I mean, like, absolutely loaded. Chris Jenkins.
And remember, Michael Barrett had to fend off Ernest Hausman to keep his job, and it was close. I mean, from what I understand in camp, they were battling hard, and like Michael Barrett barely kept his job, and Hausman had a lot of snaps that year anyway. So, like, listen, he was good then, and he's only gotten more experience in the last couple of years. Oh heck yeah, he does. He only flies first class, and he got to talk. He got to talk to our best friend Ward Manuel a few months back on my way back from NOLA. That's so cool.
Ward Manuel's a good man. All right. These days he's doing all right. Doing all right.
Nick, TJ Elijah Haven ?
Seems to be getting a little spicy there. We'll see. It's so early. But it does appear that Michigan's, in the thick of that fight right now. So it'd be I would love Elijah Haven. We haven't really talked about him too much. We probably should. But yeah, I mean, I think I would not be upset with Elijah Haven in 2027. And then we get Donald Tabron in 2028. Be a hell of a quarterback room. Think about it. Underwood, Brady Smeagol, Elijah Haven, Donald Tabron. Let's fucking go.
Facts. That would be a great combo. Tree's here. So Tree has been hanging out on here. He's been hanging out on Maze Madman. He's been kind of hitting the Avengers kind of circuit. And so Tree, it's great to see you. It's great to hear you're 3-month member. Shout out TJ and John. Appreciate you, Tree. All right, Elisha, on paper, 2023 is better. But as far as depth, 2025.
I don't know, man, because we had there's players on that 2023 team still here. I don't know, man. That's a Thursday night call-in show debate right there.
Yeah, totally. All right, folks. Quick reminders that if you have a business, product, service, or personal brand, learn how a sponsorship can benefit you at Michigan, at the Voice of College Football. Hit us up at sponsorships@vocfb.com and check out our website at vocfb.com, where you can get a schedule of all the shows happening each day, articles, got some great content up there. So definitely encourage y'all to check that out. Okay, let's talk Big Ten Media Days and some of the takeaways that we had from Big Ten Media Days. Obviously, that was last week. And Sharon Moore, accompanied by Derek Moore, accompanied by Ernest Hausman, Max Bredesen, I believe, went too. So they had some things to say, and one that we flagged is the Bryce Underwood debate / kind of what's happening there, which is he's impressing. For a guy who just had his senior prom 2 months ago, he is impressing on the field, but it's been made clear that this is still a real quarterback competition. So in theory, Bryce is going to have to fend off Mikey Keene and the other, I forget the other guy's name. I have it written here, but
yeah, Jake Garcia.
There it is. Yeah, Jake Garcia. Yeah.
Let's not forget Jaden Davis.
And hey, Jaden Davis is in the mix too, as well as Chase Herbstreit.
Yeah.
So look out, open competition. But what do you think about that first point and the Bryce Underwood competition?
Yeah, there's no competition. There's no competition. Now, listen, I understand this is, and I know Garrison's probably going to watch this one and be like, because he gave me some shit for saying there's a quarterback competition with his school. But here's what I'm going to say. And we already know this. We know this. Anyone who's watched our show, anyone who's paid attention knows this. 1 week into spring ball was done. It was over. He's starting week 1. They're not competing. Listen, I'm happy for Mikey Keene. I'm happy he's getting healthier. Happy for Jake Garcia. That's nice. Get some reps. You have to make Bryce Underwood feel like he's in a battle. Okay, you cannot allow him to get lackadaisical, although it doesn't seem to be in his character to get lackadaisical. He seems to be very locked in.
It's not in his DNA to get lackadaisical, it feels like.
Approaches the game like a professional. He's already 6'5", 230 at 17. He turns 18. What is it, August 16th, 18th, or 19th? Something like that. I don't know. But, yeah, man. I mean, look, at the end of the day, we know. It's Bryce Underwood's season. It's his time. It's his era. But coach is not going to say before Bryce Underwood's very first fall camp, hey, man, don't worry about it. You're starting. No, that's not what coaches do. Coaches push you. They make you feel like you have something to prove because they do. They still do. At the end of the day, he's 17. He's a freshman. He has to go into this camp every single day beating the guy next to him. That's what it is. But we know. And if anyone wants to bet me, I will take all bets, no cap on the money, that somebody else is starting over Bryce Underwood week 1, barring injury. Holler at your boy. I'll take all bets.
Yeah. And you know, somebody had called this a while back that Bryce Underwood would beat out Mikey Keene. And pre-injury even, I said Bryce was going to beat him out. And obviously now it's kind of almost a foregone conclusion because of the injury. So it feels like my victory is going to be a little hollow.
Yeah, I got a $1,000 bet on Bryce Underwood starting already. So we're definitely going to be capitalizing and collecting that one. So anyone who watched our show knows exactly what I'm talking about. We won't no names out of respect to the individual who made the bet, but he will be paying up. I promise you.
All right. So we have not exactly been shy about our thoughts on this. The wide receiver room still needs work. Donovan McCauley, who is obviously an Indiana transfer, has been awarded the number 1 jersey.
Yep.
Obviously, most recently utilized by Roman Wilson in the national championship. So that is concerning. Why is that concerning? Because out of the 15 or 16 wide receivers in that lineup, he is the one being given the number 1 jersey. Now, we said that would happen. We said he was going to be the X. We said he was going to be the X. But it's still, I think we could agree that when longtime talent like Samaj Morgan and others who have been in the program are passed over for that number 1 jersey for Donovan McCauley, it kind of speaks to the lack of coaching, the bad coaching that happened the previous years, because otherwise a transfer wouldn't be winning that jersey.
Yeah, and here's where we are with this, right? So we never, full clarity, never predicted that McCoy would be wearing wide receiver, wearing the number 1 his first season here. Never said that. But what I have said strongly since he committed in the transfer portal is this is going to be our starting X wide receiver. And I have said all offseason, he is going to lead the team in yards and touchdowns. Maybe not receptions, but yards and touchdowns. He will definitely lead the team in yards and touchdowns. I have felt that all off season. I am not surprised that he's going to be wearing wide receiver 1. He's going to be our alpha this year. He's going to be Bryce's go-to, in my opinion. And I expect him to have a big year. I think he is going to get 1,000 yards. I do think he'll get 1,000 yards. How many touchdowns? Great question. I mean, I would say 8 or 9 would probably be where I'd feel comfortable putting him at. I don't know if he's going to reach double-digit touchdowns, but if he does, that'd be wonderful. But I do think he's going to get 1,000 yards. I do think he's going to get around 8 or 9 touchdowns. I think he'll lead the team in both categories. Receptions, we'll see there. I just don't think they'll utilize him in that way. But yeah, I mean, I'm not surprised. It only reconfirms, again, this is what I mean. This is what I love about doing this. It only reconfirms what I believe McCoy would be for this offense coming into the year. He's wearing number 1. And somebody asked in the comments, do we feel that they're handing out that number too loosely? I personally would like to see that number earned. Like, you have to perform before you can wear that number. That number should not be given to anybody who has not performed, in my opinion. But it is what it is. It's an incentive that the coaches are using. Shamari Rose is rocking the 2 this year. We know how legendary, iconic that number is. The number 1 is one of the other iconic numbers. So, let's see. Hoping for the best, and hopefully in the future it does get to a point where the number is earned and not given. But we'll see. We'll see, man.
Yeah. So I am excited about Donovan McCulley, and I also do think, based on some of what I heard at Big Ten Media Days and also separately, Samaj Morgan and Fred Moore, you guys are on notice. So I'm a Fred Moore fan. I'm a Fred Moore fan, but who's behind him in the depth chart?
Right.
Well, how about a guy who is named Andrew Marsh, and how about what's his name, Jamar Browder? Yeah, they are in the depth chart here. They are extremely talented at the Z position. And so Fred Moore is going to have to fight to keep that job. Samaj Morgan is going to have to fend off Channing Goodwin and Simpson. So these are 2 receivers that they're starting right now. They're on the starting depth chart right now, but they are going to need to play extremely well to fend off this young talent that is clearly nipping at their heels.
To your point, John, think about this. Donovan McCoy was given the number 1. He hasn't even played. So what does that say to Samaj Morgan and Fred Moore, who have been here for a year? Think about that. That in itself, through action, tells you all you need to know. The coaching staff already looks at McCoy as he's going to be that, which, listen, I have felt that way since December. It's quite clear he's likely going to be our alpha, our alpha wide receiver this season, but it's still telling, so let's see if Channing Goodwin, if Andrew Marsh, if Anthony Simpson, if Jamar Browder can push for these starting positions this season. I think they will push. I would not be confident. John, would you be confident in saying at the end of the season, last game of the year, our starting lineup is McCauley, Samaj Morgan, and Fred Moore? Are you confident in that starting lineup? Or do you think by the end of the year, somebody is going to take that lead, whether it be the Y or the Z at some point this season?
I think it could be both. I think it could be Channing Goodwin and Andrew Marsh taking those jobs over.
Yeah,
it could be both of them.
Or it could be Anthony Simpson taking over the Y, and then Andrew Marsh taking over the Z. Exactly, though. Exactly. So yeah, I'm very interested to see how this plays out. The good news is we should have players in the wide receiver room who can challenge for that starting spot. That's the good news. There is talent in the room, but the talent has to produce.
So this next super chat is a great intro for our third take on this topic. Elisha Bowman with the $1.99. Oklahoma was 130th in sacks allowed. Time to eat. Yeah, Oklahoma and Venables are known for their defense, right? But
yeah, they have offensive
issues.
We know this. Like they, all right. So I didn't know they were ranked 130th. That's wild. That's actually amazing.
That is wild.
It's an amazing stat, Elijah. Elijah always finding the good stats. Yeah. So I mean, look, that's epic because this defense is and to John's point, we're going to talk about next. This fucking defense is going to eat this defensive line. I forgot who it was who said this. I think maybe it was Isaiah Hole. So I want to give credit where it is. He says Michigan, and I have not said this all offseason, but since I listened to Isaiah Hole, he was on Crane and Company. I did watch that. He said that it's possible this is the best front seven in America. And you know what? The more I think about it, it very well could be. Because we already talked about Jay Sean Barham. We've already talked about Ernest Hausman, what we think these linebackers can do. But this defensive line, which we're going to get into here, John, into Sharon Moore, do you have Sharon Moore's quote, or do you want me to paraphrase it?
Go for it.
All right. So essentially, Sharon Moore said, we are 8 to 10 deep on this defensive line.
Mm-hmm.
And on Thursday's show, we were kind of trying to break it down. He said 6 interior, 4 on the edge. So my thought was, who are these 6 on the interior? The 6 I was thinking was Cameron Brandt, Trey Williams, Rayshawn Benny, Damon Payne, Trey Pierce, and Inaweta. On the edge, I have Derek Moore, Dominic Nichols, and TJ Guy. But I have thought about it more. Are they looking at Cameron Brandt as more of an edge? Although he's not. He's more of a hybrid 4-eye, Chris Jenkins role. And then is Ike Awana that actual 6-inch interior guy? I'm not sure. Or is Nate Marshall impressing and he's the 4th edge? I'm not sure. But at the end of the day, we have depth. We have talent. This defensive line should be fast, strong, powerful, getting to the quarterback, and fresh, because we're going to be rotating like we always do. I'm excited about it. And I do think this front seven has the potential to be the best front seven in America. I really do think so.
Yeah. It looks like Brandt. So they see Brandt at edge. I mean,
but he's not. But the thing about Brandt is he's not playing rush edge. He's not playing Sam. I mean, he's playing at best close end, or he's playing like the keys. To me, it's Chris Jenkins' role. Jenkins played a little on the outside. I mean, I feel like if that's the case, then that's the case. It's fair, but then I would argue then it's probably Ike Awana who's the 6th interior, which would be interesting to see because I'd like to see him develop. I'd like to see Ike Awana become a contributor on this defense.
Yeah, watch out for Dominic Nichols too. Try saying that 10 times fast. Watch out for Dominic Nichols because he's put on a little bit of good weight, and he's been turning some heads. So watch out for him. Watch out for Nate Marshall, even though to at least get some play. I'm not saying he's going to be starting, but I'm saying he's going to get some play.
I think you'll see Nate Marshall, at the end of games if Michigan's handling business. I think that's when you'll see him get his opportunity.
Yeah, so I think this bodes very well for the line, and if you can rotate, and Wink does love to rotate. If you can rotate effectively and you have that type of depth, and you're able to, like it in the ReliaQuest Bowl, you're literally it's like old school Alabama, which is funny because we played Alabama, but no, how they used to just reload. Well, at the D-line position, that's what Michigan's doing. They literally just replaced their NFL first round draft picks with in the ReliaQuest Bowl, and it felt like they didn't skip a beat. So that shows depth, and that just has continued. So kudos to the D-line there. There are some questions in a couple of positions at left tackle, at right guard, and there is some speculation that Andrew Babalola is really making a play for left tackle, and it would be an extremely rare occurrence. But I want to remind everybody what was our O-line position preview months ago. What did we say? Who did we say was going to be left tackle? Andrew Babalola. So just saying, we called it. Evan Link may need to be moved to right guard, or he might just be riding the bench.
So, yeah, I mean, look, one thing we've talked about is left tackle concern. Guess what? We have said that since when, John? Spring ball. It appears to be a common theme going into what? fall camp.
Mhm.
Again, we don't bullshit. We call it like we see it, right? Now, the Andrew Babeloa thing, John, I'll give you a little more credit there. I've been of the position. I'm not sure if Andrew, my position on freshman starting. I've been of the position of not sure. Is it going to be Blake Frazier? Is it going to be Andrew Babeloa? Can Evan Link figure it out in time? Is he going to be inconsistent? Because that seems to be one of his biggest hurdles outside of being a step slow sometimes on the outside. We'll see. It does appear, though, John, I'll say this about Andrew Babeloa. It does kind of appear that there's like a bit of a buzz that Andrew Babeloa could be the left tackle. I don't know, though. Like, so if you had to ask, like, and I think you did ask me, or maybe it was in our group chat with Kinetic and them, but I feel Babeloa, I feel like if he starts at left tackle, it'll be at some point in the season, maybe week 4, maybe week 6, 7. At some point, they'll find it right to put him in. I think Evan Link is going to get the opportunity at left tackle to start the year, but it's possible Blake Frazier claims that in fall camp. So, but again, though, like anyone who's watched us, I know Michigan Gander, because he's giving me a lot of shit about my take on the offensive line. Wide receiver and left tackle are the concerns of this team. And if they can figure it out in fall ball, we're going to be in a very good position. I feel very good about the other 4 positions on this offensive line. And then, but to the point of is if Andrew Babeloa becomes that left tackle, John, the future of this team is bright. Andrew Sprague is how you pronounce it. I just learned it's Sprague, not Sprague. So Andrew Sprague. Yeah. Nathan Afobe, possibly Andrew Babeloa, Ty Haywood. The future of this offensive line is nasty good. Obviously, if we can keep Malachi Lee and co, obviously great. Then you look at the youth. If we can get Savion Hyder, Bryce Underwood, Andrew Marsh, you got Jamar Browder. I mean, the future of this offense looks so good. Andrew Olish, just kidding. I still dream about it. But yeah, man, I mean, I'm extremely optimistic again. We get Savion Hyder, bro. Yeah, big time. But yeah, and then the defense, we know what this defensive line class is looking like. We know what that secondary class looked like last year. They're building here, boys. They're building. We're building a team that is going to be very good. So, and let's not forget the number 1 kicker in the nation coming, which we haven't even talked about. We got to we'll have to hit on that at some point in the show. What is it? Micah, how do you say his last name? I think it's Micah Drescher, number 1 kicker in the nation, boys. We'll talk at the end of the show. I want to hit on that, John. I want to hit on that. So let's remember that.
Okay.
Because I got some interesting info on that.
Yeah, that is a big deal because we have the number 1 kicker in the nation right now, and then you just continue it next year.
Hey, let's go. So let's get that going. Let our show community run with it. Dominic Zavada is Legatron. Let's run with that. That's Legatron. Okay. Legatron is Dominic Zavada. That started here. Voice of college football, Michigan voice of college football. Let's go. Let's take it. Let's run with that. Because there's no doubt about it. He's the number 1 kicker in the nation, going to the NFL, probably going to win the Lou Gorza Award. Let's effing go, boys.
Love it. And of course, as Isaiah Hull reported, Derek Moore saying about Ohio State at Big Ten Media Days, I'll congratulate them on the national title, aka the win, but it's not a real win if y'all ain't beat us. And the Michigan number 1 goal, national championship, that would be great. But you know what's even more important to Michigan? And this was said at Big Ten Media Days. Beat the Buckeyes again. No red and green allowed in this facility, TJ. Beat the Buckeyes. And that also ties into the flag planning that Sharon Moore mentioned was no longer going to be the case due to the whining of the Buckeyes.
Crybaby ass bitches. Yeah. So did you see Adam Schefter has the no green and no red beyond this point on his office? Did you see that?
Oh, I didn't know he had that in his office.
Let me see if I can find that. Yeah, he's got the sign on his desk, man. Which is epic.
How about that?
Yeah, so look, if we can get 5 in a row on them and them boys, obviously great and epic. let's see. I'm looking for the thing while I'm talking about it. But yeah, I mean, look, I'm excited about it. I'll say this though. I would listen if someone asked me, and Buckeyes, you want to run with this, go for it. Hey, maybe you lose to the Buckeyes this year, but you win a national title. I'd fucking do it. I'd do it in a heartbeat. I would. But that said, I'd rather win a national title. Or I'm sorry, I'd rather beat the Buckeyes than just win. I'd rather beat the Buckeyes than win the ReliaQuest Bowl. You know what I'm saying?
100%.
Like any other bowl game. 100%. And 5 in a row is going to be absolutely beautiful. And I feel we're going to get 5 in a row, I'll be honest with you. But let's see. Like, I don't know if I can find it, John. But yeah, he's got it in his office now. It's pretty sweet. Oh, just kidding. Yes, I did. I found it. Check this out. See, it just means more, John. See the sign in the background?
No red or green.
It just means more, John.
Wow. How about that?
Look at that. Look at the helmet. Look at that. Best helmet in the fucking game, boys.
It is a beautiful helmet.
It is.
But the more that they whine, and the more that they talk about the hammer, and the more that they talk about, and we're going to get to the Jack Sawyer versus Connor Stalions debate in a little bit here, but the whining over 2022 and like this just makes the wins so much sweeter. Like when this is what we hear all off season. Ohio State can't, this is the title of the episode. Ohio State can't handle losing. They can't handle it. They completely lose their minds because deep down they know that their national title, I won't call it a Mickey Mouse title, but what I will say is if I were in their shoes, it would feel a little hollow. I'm not going to lie. If Michigan won a national title and lost to Ohio State, for me, I can't speak to anybody else, but for me, it would feel a little bit hollow. Like, yay, but also, there's this feeling in the pit of your stomach, like you didn't quite get the job done.
Yeah, and I think they do feel that a little bit. I'll say this, though. Okay, look. You win the Natty. That's obviously the end prize goal. That fucking is what's up, okay? Now, there's no doubt by not beating us, it's not as sweet. And there's no doubt by losing 4 in a row at home with the best roster, it's definitely not as sweet. And they know that. They just cope and lie to themselves. Oh, we had the greatest run in national championships. The first time there was a 12 fucking team playoff, you had the greatest. Yeah, because every team's a top 10 team, boys. But yeah, I mean, like, listen, if you don't beat the rival on your road to a title, it's not as sweet as it could have been. It's still sweet, though. I mean, it's still sweet. A natty's a natty, especially in this era, because it's, if anything, it's more competitive now than it's ever been. So I'll give them, although, I mean, then somebody would argue, is it? Because only four teams got in before. So is it really more competitive? Because actually the field opened up, so maybe it's less competitive. But I'd argue there's more parity in college football now. But to that point, John, yeah, I mean, look, the rivalry, it means a lot, man. And we own it right now. They just want to downplay it. Because it's not the most fierce rivalry in college football, John.
Yeah, it's by far
you know who made that argument, right? You know who made that argument?
Who made that argument?
Garrison.
That it wasn't?
He says it's the most important rivalry, but it's not the most fierce rivalry. He says, I don't even want to, I feel bad now I brought this up. But he's like, Auburn, Alabama was the most fierce rivalry.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, I mean, it's cool, bro. It's cool. It's cool. It's cool, though.
Yeah.
I get it. It's cool.
Look,
it's a defense mechanism. It helps you from being too sad. I get it. Man.
Look, Cope is all. And by the way, we appreciate the marketing by putting our show on Garrison's show. Thank you for that. And we encourage that to continue. And so we do have a couple of super chats that have been waiting for a while here. So Elisha, Take the North made a good point. Whose birthday is August 19th? Bryce Underwood. And who's committing August 19th? Savion Hyder. That would be very, very fucked up. I will say that. It would be messed up.
Yeah, dude. Oh, my God. Bro, I'll say this, John. After the Calvin Russell situation, and if that were to occur, if that happened where he maybe went to Tennessee, oh, my God. let's see. So that is what day is that? That is the
Tuesday. It's our show's on a
Do you know what
Tuesday.
time?
Um,
Oh, we got to know what if it's during our show. Oh, it better be 8:00. It better be 8:00. I need it. I need it 8 p.m. Oh, but she's doing it on ESPN. It's gonna be live on ESPN. I know that.
I don't know if
So
they've
probably during the
released
day. Then it would probably be like
time
noon
yet.
to 5. It's gonna be on ESPN though. They're gonna do a live commitment.
Nice. But anyway, my point is, if he goes to Tennessee on Bryce Underwood's birthday, that would be a little messed up. I mean, to be fair, he might not have known.
Might not.
But I feel like he wouldn't have picked that specific date for no reason.
Well, let me just also say this. Word is that had to be scheduled with the network. The network actually, it was what they're available. It was based on their availability.
Do I think that there is at least a little bit of positive to Michigan with that date? I guess maybe not as much as I thought before hearing that, but I do think that there's something there.
We'll see. I hope so.
We'll see.
I like your theory more.
Christopher says Bryce is the man day one. Go Blue, baby. As voice of college football, Michigan predicted, Michigan quarterback one, Bryce Underwood, day one. Absolutely. Thank you, Christopher. Go Blue, back to you. Elisha says the only reason they got Keen is because they're going to run Bryce a good amount. As a true freshman, Bryce's ability to run will help greatly. I mean, I'm with you there. Bryce being able to run adds an entirely new dynamic that Michigan didn't really have as much last year.
The reason they got Mikey Keen is because they wanted more experience in the room. We didn't want to be put in a position where, like last year, where we didn't have experience. Like Mikey Keen, like we've mentioned many times on the show, he is an upgrade over what we had last year. Mikey Keen, I believe this. If Mikey Keen was our quarterback, we are a college football playoff team. I believe that. I do. We were a quarterback and a right tackle, full transfer. But Andrew Sprague, again, he stepped up. If they would have put him in a little earlier, maybe he wasn't ready. But look, the quarterback room is in a good position. There is more talent, more depth. So the reality is, and plus on top of this, it's an NFL model. When you have a rookie quarterback in the NFL, you want that veteran presence. Well, Mikey Keen knows the offense. He's worked with Chip Lindsey before. He's seen he's gone against many defenses in college football. He is a very good backup quarterback to Bryce Underwood.
Yeah, I agree. I think that when you add somebody like Mikey Keen, and we're going to talk about this in the quarterback depth assessment, but if you have one like Mikey Keen, you have one like Jake Garcia, who have been there. Maybe they didn't put up the best stats ever, but they have years kind of logged in as a starter and part of these rooms. Well, they can at least pass on knowledge, help coach, and then be there if their number is called. If God forbid their number needs to be called, but you need to have depth in that room. You can't have Bryce Underwood, Jaden Davis, and an injured Davis Warren as your room. So they've done a nice job, kudos to them, in getting multiple quarterbacks in the transfer portal and going out and getting Chase Herbstreit in the ultimate troll job, which I absolutely love and I'm here for. And I hope he's under center against Ohio State on at least one play for the lulls.
Victory formation.
Victory formation. Chase Herbstreit for Michigan would be hilarious. But yeah, I think Bryce needed some depth behind him. I really think that's what the idea was.
That's what it is.
And
yeah,
to push him.
You're not going to have a young quarterback without that experience. Like the truth is too, Michigan tried to get other quarterbacks, but they didn't want to go. They did not want to play behind. They didn't want to compete with Bryce in the offseason. Okay. We know that. That was revealed to us. But Mikey Keen was. So, we'll see, I mean, I'm good with it. I like Mikey Keene. I'm glad we have Underwood, though. That's who I want to play. And anyone who knows, look, I anticipated Mikey Keene would start week 1. This was before spring ball even started. Again, 1 week into spring ball, we learned very quickly, even though Mikey Keene was injured, we learned very quickly. Bryce Underwood is I said going into spring camp, Bryce Underwood had to be undeniable. Check. He's undeniable. He's starting. That's why there's no quarterback battle going. He's going to compete. Young kid. He's got to compete. He's got to show. He's got to prove it. Words are nothing. Action is everything. It has to go down, right? But we're very confident Bryce Underwood's going to show up to camp, fall camp, and ball out. I'd be very surprised if he doesn't ball out.
Yeah, me too. I mean, I'm in support of them making this a competition to the point where Bryce does have to still outperform Mikey Keene, Garcia, and Jaden Davis, and but do I have any doubts that he's going to do that? No, not at all.
Right.
And like TJ said from the very beginning of spring camp, it was clear right away.
Yeah, and I took an L because I was very strong from January to February that Mikey Keene would start the season, and then they would slowly incorporate Bryce Underwood. I said my thought was week 3 after the Oklahoma. That was my thought. Wrong.
Yeah,
it's Bryce Underwood, bro, and it's okay.
It was a reasonable take.
Yeah, of course it was. That's all
because
I had.
That's what they did with Cade McNamara and JJ McCarthy.
Yeah.
That's what they did in 2021 and 2022.
Yeah.
So I get it. But in this case, Bryce is just too good to stay off the field.
Exactly.
That's what we're understanding here.
Exactly.
Elisha asks, please name one decent trait that Samaj has better than Marsh, Fred Moore, Anthony Simpson, or Channing Goodwin, because he is not a gadget player. He is not fast, man. Well, I think in special teams, I think there's not just because he has the experience in special teams. Listen, I could point to that, maybe.
Samaj Morgan is without a doubt the best shit talker of that bunch.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, that'll do it.
There you go,
the most real talk when he's talking to Isaiah Hull and others.
Yeah, if anyone saw the clip after beating the Buckeyes, you'll know what I'm talking about.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. Definitely shit talking. He's the best of the bunch in that. I think you're right. But I would also say maybe special teams, at least for now. But any of these guys could prove me wrong. All
right. So to take Elijah's tweet serious, I think he's right. Because, yeah, I mean, I do not know a single trait that makes Samaj better than any one of those. I don't know. It's not. Because Marsh is faster. I don't feel Samaj has the best hands of the group. Route running, can't say he's a polished runner. But we'll see. I mean, look, there's also Chip Lindsey's giving Samaj Morgan a larger route tree. Let's see what he can do with it. I mean, look, the truth is this. Let's just also be honest here. Kirk Campbell was very limited. In my opinion, did not put the wide receivers or any of the position players, Donovan Edwards, in the best position to succeed. How was Donovan Edwards utilized? So if Donovan Edwards was not utilized properly, what makes you think Samaj Morgan would be utilized properly? So that's why I want to see what these kids can do, because this season there isn't an excuse anymore. You have an experienced offensive coordinator. You have a quarterback who can get you the ball. You have a quarterback who can make plays with his feet. All these players should be able to handle their responsibilities and thrive. If you are not thriving, then sad but true, it's a you problem. It should not be a schematic problem. It should not be a supporting cast problem. It is an individual player problem at this point. That's where we should be this season. It should be very glaring who are the weak links and who are not. And obviously, respectively speaking, we know these kids are student athletes and all that, but at the end of the day, this is competitive football and there are weak links, and it should be revealed this season.
Absolutely. Yeah. So, I mean, Elisha, I take your point. I think it's also partly I can't put it all on Samaj, right? we had a bad offensive coordinator last year. Absolutely abysmal. Worst passing offense aside from the service academies. That's not just me saying that. That's literally the rankings.
That's
It's
true.
Michigan at the bottom, just above some of the service academies. So that was bad OC and not very good wide receiver coaching. And we're going from that to a very experienced OC and experienced quarterbacks coach in Chip Lindsey. We also brought in Soup Campbell. So if Samaj is gonna shine, it's gonna be with this quarterback, with this OC, with Soup Campbell in the mix in the wide receiving coaching room. He wants deeper balls. Samaj says he doesn't want to be a gadget guy. He wants deeper balls. He's probably going to get a couple of deep opportunities to have his shot, and it's going to be up to him to catch him, which he hasn't really.
To be fair, John, because you pointed this out in one of our post games, Samaj was wide open. Didn't get the ball. Right. So we'll see. I mean, this is the year, boys. I mean, we're going to learn this year is going to tell us so much about certain individual players on this team, the coaching staff, Sherrone Moore, Ron Bellamy. We're going to learn a lot this year. I mean, this year is going to be very revealing because we are now past the get your feet wet, find your balance year. Now we're in it's put up or shut up, and everything is in place to at least be a very competitive team.
Absolutely. The super chats keep coming in. We thank all the contributions here. So those people who are just commenting and they're not leaving a super chat, I'm sorry. We're getting so many super chats. You're going to need a super chat if you want your question on screen. Bob Alexander with the 5. John, thank you for the mention. That was sweet. Love TJ too. Let your New York City boxing fan, I think he's talking about Maniac. That I'm a 36-year ring announcer.
That's sick.
Well,
That's sick.
Bob, you should go and I have no issues telling people. Maze Madman, Maniac co-hosts that show. Go ahead and say hi to him over there. And but thank you so much for being on and for being a member and new member and $5 super chat there.
Yeah, and I love boxing.
There you go.
I have a take on boxing though. I have a take that I think is true, but we don't need to get into it here. But I'll say this: I wish boxing was structured like the UFC, where the best fighters fought each other. I hate that there's different leagues. I'll just leave it there. All right,
that's fair enough.
Pisses me off. Anyways,
Antoine with the 5. Think about this, TJ. Every year, Michigan has been handicapped in some way. How many more handicaps does Ohio State need?
Well, you know what's funny is Ohio State was last year. Last year you would think Ohio State had no weakness, right? Like they were a very complete team for the most part, right? I mean, obviously the defensive line wasn't, elite, but the team was very good. This year, actually, dude, this year Ohio State has in my opinion, has some holes. And like I made a comment that Garrison took very offense to. I said there might be a chink in the armor. I'm proposing that as a question, not as a certainty, by the way. But to me, it feels like, okay, offensive line has some question marks for Ohio State. Defensive line has some question marks for Ohio State. Quarterback has some question marks for Ohio State. The new offensive coordinator is just as unknown as most new offensive coordinators this season, just like Oklahoma's offensive coordinator. There are a lot of.
Oh, wait a second. How about one of the worst coaches of all time in football, Matt Patricia, taking over as D coordinator?
Bro, dude, there's your handicap, by the way. Oh, we had a bad coach. I fucking told you. Hey, you know what, John? We have been on money all show about all of our takes all the way going back to August, the Connor Stalions thing, to December with Donovan McCulley, to my Matt Patricia take. I swear I'm not wrong. That fan base is going to turn on Matt Patricia, bro. I'm telling you.
Listen, Michigan Wolverines live, all gas, no brakes. That's how we operate here. Captain with the 10, Michigan Natty Run, number 10 PSU, number 7 Ohio, number 4 Bama, number 2 Washington. So how is their run so much more impressive?
I mean, it's a fucking good point, is it not?
It's a great point.
Yeah,
It's
I
an
need to look at
absolutely
Ohio
great
State's
point.
run again. Shit. All right, we're gonna frame that. You're right. Next time I hear that argument, I'm putting that up.
Yeah,
you're right.
because Ohio State's
four top
best
10
win.
teams.
Ohio State's best win in the regular season last year was probably Penn State, and they lost
Look it up.
two of their other good team opponents,
look at Ohio
Oregon
State.
and Michigan. The playoff run is what I'd like to look at, because the playoff
So really-
run is where legitimately they did beat some of the top teams in the nation.
All right, so let me pull this up. Let's make sure it has the playoff games. It does. Okay, so here we go. Let's compare. Let's do it together. And then if anyone wants to run their damn mouth, someone's gonna be right here. Is it us or is it them? Okay, so fuck, it doesn't have what their ranked were. All right, let me see if I can find what they're ranked.
Probably ESPN would have it.
You would think. All right, I got it here, so I'll just read it. We'll look at what we got. So Tennessee was 7. Oregon was 1. Texas was 3. So they got, and Notre Dame was 5. So 5, 3, 1, and 7. 5, 3, 1, and 7. I mean, I guess you could argue it's better because Penn State's 10.
Well, also remember,
Close, though, dude. It's fucking close though, man. It's
Hold
a lot closer
on.
than I thought.
Check it out. So number 10 Penn State, number 2 Ohio State,
Yes,
number
16 Iowa.
16 Iowa.
Right.
And then you have the playoff run of number 4 Alabama and number 2 Washington. So we can't forget about Iowa in there.
Okay, no, so actually it's 2, 4, 2, and 10. That's better, ladies and gentlemen.
Yeah, and undefeated.
That's
no losses.
That is 3 top 5 teams. Fuck your top 10.
Yeah. And let's not forget 6 games in the 2023 season with an interim head coach.
So they have 3 top 5s too. 1 Oregon, 3 Texas, 5. I mean, it's actually closer. Bro, you could make that argument. People won't though because it wasn't the playoff. But you could make that argument.
Yeah. I'm okay.
That's a great super chat, by the way.
I am okay with Ohio State saying, okay, we had to run through all the best teams.
I can accept that they edge it here, but it's pretty close. I mean,
it's pretty close because they have 2 regular season losses.
So Steve's saying we played Texas at Texas. Bro, we played Alabama in the Rose Bowl. We played Washington on the road. We played, let's see, the
Iowa in the Big Ten. We blew out Iowa, shut them out.
I'll just say this, Steve, whether you want to agree or not, it's closer than I know you realize because I don't think anyone really has thought about it like that. There's no way you do not accept that it's close. Like I said, Ohio State has the edge on that. I do think so, but it's close.
Yeah. And then let's not forget the fact that Ohio State lost lost at home in Columbus.
That's right.
23-point favorites to a 6-5 Michigan team.
Yeah, and we were kneecapped. Look what Stromore had to take the last 3. Y'all didn't play Alabama in the state of Alabama.
Oh God! All right.
Jesus, these fucking
yeah.
These guys.
West Quad, who I like to say West Quad best quad because I lived in West Quad. I thought y'all were on Monday. My bad. So that's Maze Madman. We occasionally do a Monday show if I have travel. And then we do our members only stream on the 3rd Monday of every month. So that's when we're Monday. But Tuesday and Thursday are our main shows. Usually.
You know what? Fuck it. Antoine's right. We beat Ohio State. They lost us, and we were undefeated. Our run's better. Fuck them, dude. Actually, our run's better, dude. We were undefeated. We beat our fucking rival. Our run is better. End of discussion, bro. I don't care if it's a 12-team playoff. Congratulations. Everyone's going to be in a 12-team playoff. That's not special.
Yeah. Elisha, why do these sports analysts hate Michigan so much? Like RJ Young, Danny from CBS, they act like us beating Ohio State 4 times was more of an accident. Yeah, and it continues this offseason with the disrespect of Ohio State being favored after 4 straight losses, Ohio State is favored against Michigan in the Big House.
I can't say I'm mad that they're favored. They're coming off a national title. We were 8-5. We have a freshman quarterback. I'm not mad that they're favored. Now in 2023, I don't think they should have been favored. Last year, you can understand why they were favored. They were the better team.
Sure.
We were on the road. That's fair. I'm not mad that they're favored this year. They did lose a lot. We're actually returning a lot. But Michigan, look, Michigan's got to prove it, boys. Like they gotta
as always.
Show. Yeah, they have to prove it again. Like we were 8-5 last year. Like this offense has to prove that it's capable. This defense has to prove after losing Mason Graham and Kenneth Grant, it's still an elite defense. We believe it will be. But we have to we got to prove this stuff. Like we have to, just because we had that great 4-year run or 3-year run with the Big Ten titles and the national, like that's great, but a lot of that is gone. That's what makes college football so great. We have to reprove ourselves. So it is what it is. And at the end of the day, too, can I be honest? It's good for motivation. You want to be underdog. It's so much easier to find motivation when you're the underdog. When you're on top, you have to create motivation. Ask Michael Jordan. Michael Jordan had to find ways to get pissed off at people.
Yeah. Once he was in his 5th and 6th title, he had to manufacture stuff. But all I'm going to say, everybody, is let Penn State and Ohio State be the media darlings and let Michigan put up W's in the scoreboard.
I think Penn State's going to fall flat on their face anyways. I don't have faith in Drew Allar and James Franklin. I just don't. And I know it's a new year. I understand the argument, but they seem to just not be able to handle pressure moments. We'll see, though. Prove us wrong on that one. Prove me wrong.
As the poet Jay-Z once said, numbers don't lie. Check the scoreboard. 42-27, 45-23, 30-24, 13-10. We got the emoji. Check the scoreboard. It's time for number 5. All right. Peyton Osborne, Rod Moore's health. Who is CB2 if Zeke is nickel? From what I understand, Rod Moore is about at 85% right now. Which I'm going to be real, the second surgery he had set him back, and he's been out a lot. And I think they're going to take a very cautious approach to him, where he may not be, he may be in the rotation by mid-season, but I don't think I personally, just based on what I've seen, I think they're just going to be cautious with him because we have a pretty decent secondary, and they don't want to risk a re-injury. So I think they'll play it cautious with Rod Moore. I know how vital he was in 23 because he was basically the quarterback of the defense. He was calling the plays for the defense.
Right. So the word is he's around 85%. That's from his own mouth, I think. And but there does appear to be optimism that he's going to play. I don't know. Sharon Moore makes it sound like he's going to be ready for the start of the year. I don't know. Maybe. But I think, John, we will see Rod Moore play this year. To what extent, or to how much is he in terms of fully back? We'll see. He might need to get his fuel. Might take him a few games. I'm not sure. But we'll see. I mean, I'm hoping they kind of slow play it. But if he's 100% by the start of the year, then give him maybe a snap count and get him, ready as the season ramps up. We'll see there. And then, regarding who's the second corner, if Zeke Berry plays nickel, because I do have Zeke Berry on the outside right now.
Right.
But I have seen people project he's potentially going to be nickel. I don't know.
Watch out for Tevis Metcalf.
So Shamari Earls, Tevis Metcalf. Maybe Josiah Edmond. Is Caleb Anderson ready? He's from Louisiana Raging Cajuns, played for Lamar Morgan. Keyshawn Harris. Is Keyshawn Harris potentially? We'll see. But in my opinion, it would be one of Shamari Rose, Tevis Metcalf, Josiah Edmond, and Harris or Anderson. I know I named a bunch of them, so of course it'll be one of them. But Yeah, I just
Tevis Metcalf, I think,
Yeah.
has been flying under the radar, but he had a play in the spring game
Yeah, he did. No, they showed out, bro.
that
Yeah.
made me go, holy shit. I know we've been talking about his brother, but Tevis got some moves too. He's got some football moves. And I think him and Shamari Earls both are going to compete legitimately for starting positions.
I don't know why I can't share this fucking post. So shout out to Captain Stabbin, by the way. Drinking a little vodka, watching our show. Appreciate it.
Okay.
I want to share it. I got it on Twitter, but I won't let me, for some reason, won't let me repost it. But shout out
okay,
to you,
Captain. Very nice. All right, Elisha, where did this gadget player come from? He's not explosive at all. Talking about Samaj Morgan. Elisha, you got to remember the offense that he was a little bit we can't completely forget. And I've been very critical of the wide receivers. I've been very critical of Ron Bellamy, but we can't forget that the quarterback sucked last year. And so and that was on Kurt Campbell, by the way, because he was, guess what? The quarterback's coach, in addition to the offensive coordinator. So Kurt Campbell was at least somewhat at fault, not just Ron Bellamy and Samaj. Like it was a combined shit show. So let's see what Samaj does with a real quarterback and real offensive coordinator.
All right, I'll say this to Elijah Bowman's point. He does not have that short area quickness that you would want of a gadget player. He does not have that. He seems shifty, but he just doesn't have that burst. Like I hear you. Elijah, I think what it is a lack of parts. So you're trying to fit it into. You're trying to fit that square into a round hole. They wanted Samaj Morgan to be that player. It's one of those things, right? Like you could ask a fish to climb a tree, but he's not that. He's not it. And Samaj Morgan's 100-meter isn't very impressive. So we'll see, man. I mean, I agree with you. I agree with you, Elijah. I think a lot of players were not utilized properly last year. That's just what it is, because he's not a gadget player. He's not somebody I would I feel Micah Kapana could be utilized in that role. Quick area, quick burst, quick, that's.
I agree.
That's the type of player you put in that role.
I agree. Yeah, I could see. Yeah, Micah. I want to see Micah on the field. I think he could be a really dynamic player. Okay, Fitty 12. You forgot Ohio State also beat Indiana, who was ranked. Oh, I'm sorry. You're right. Indiana was ranked, and Ohio State did beat them, and Indiana was pretty good last year. There's no doubt about that. Beat some good teams. Beat Michigan. All right. So we are officially caught up in Super Chats. Thank you for everybody who contributed. This was an awesome run there, and we do appreciate that. I do want to remind everybody that our owner of our network, Mark Rogers, wrote a book. It's called Disputed National Champions. It's available at an Amazon near you. Get it, $9.99, about the 1990s and the various disputed national championships that were held in the 90s before the BCS era began. So I think it's very interesting stuff. And I'll go ahead and pop the link right here. Or actually, it looks like, thank you, Lance. So we've asked our new moderators to please share links as their primary ask is share links, encourage people to hit the like button. Lance, thank you for stepping up. There's the link right there to Disputed National Champions. Get it at an Amazon near you. All right. With that said, on the topic of Ohio State can't handle losing, how about this little gem from our own. So Connor Stallions, and then Woodward Sports was the original of this. So I have the video here.
Well,
Let's see if
actually Woodward Sports reposts this from Not Just Football.
Not Just Football. Okay,
Yep.
so Not Just Football. Let's see how this goes.
Whatever, and when we run it, all the D linemen, as soon as the ball is snapped, the linebackers, everybody, they sniffed it out. We ran a tight end screen from the 25-yard line going in, and they snuff it out on first and 10. Come on, man. Good scout.
Okay, let me ask you.
Yeah.
Hold on. Can we play from the beginning though? I want to play from the beginning where he talks about
really play.
I'll say this. I think they beat us straight up last year, obviously, and the year before. But
right there. They beat us straight up last year, probably, or straight up last year, and probably the year before. Yeah, we did. But tell your fan base.
Probably the year before.
Yeah.
Okay.
Tell your fan base that, because they don't seem to understand that. A lot of them seem to not realize that it went down that way. But anyways, to the rest of that video, John.
Yeah. So basically he was just saying, and I played the rest of it, but he's just saying we left the field. We were like, this feels weird. And kind of specifically talking about a kind of slot formation. So Connor Stallions actually rebutted this video, and I have the tweet right here. So Connor Stallions, the namesake of our highest membership tier. Jack is saying Ohio State never ran a slot YY formation all year. Pull up any of the games on YouTube and you'll see them run that. The signal for this play was the letter Y, which is tight end in 99% of offenses, the delay of game sign. So that's a Y delay. Wonder what this will be. Jack is admitting they never ran it before. Your head coach already admitted that you changed your signs for us. I'll stop here. I'm at 4 bullet points, maybe add a 5th in November. If it was a new play, first of all, if it was a new play, then Connor Stallions isn't going to have it necessarily blocked out. But if it's the most basic signaling period, then it's going to be very easy for him to figure out what that is and decode it and scheme against it.
And look, your team changed their fucking signs. You never ran it before, so how could it be previously scouted? They just make excuses instead of realizing it was a fucking terrible play. It was a bad play, and we just snuffed it out. This is football, boys. Let's just be honest. You haven't been good enough to beat us the last 3 or the last 4 fucking years, bro. They just haven't been. We have been on their ass. They have changed signs. They've been aware of the sign gate. They've been aware of it, John. They couldn't beat us, John. But yet they got to keep making all these excuses. These players, well, I never beat Michigan. I got to make all these excuses. Look, end of the day, the reality is this. You guys lost. You lost. And the reason why you keep losing is because you don't accept that you got your asses fucking kicked. So because what you do is you keep making excuses like, no, we're the better team. And then you go into it with that mentality and you lose again. And then to the people, and I want to hit on this too, John, unless you got another.
Well, I do. I have one point, which is that
I want to go on some shit.
Third base Ryan Day said that they changed their signs before the 2022 game.
Right. So what are we doing? I know what we're doing. You fuckers are coping. You're going through the 5 stages of grief, bargaining, denial. You're going through it, and then anger, which is why I see you guys acting like little fucking babies on social media all over this shit. It's sad. It's a bad look, boys. Bad fucking look. Man up, please, because you're embarrassing all of us, actually. You're embarrassing even us. We're embarrassed to be your rivals sometimes. You guys are so soft. Bro, like, and then to the point on, this is something that has been driving me a little nuts lately. A little nuts. And here's what I mean by that. Connor Stallions is brought up by Jack Sawyer. And then people get upset that Connor Stallions responds to that video on social media from his personal account.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. Is Connor Stallions not an American who is allowed to voice their opinion on social media? And you're upset that they keep talking? Why? Because he's fucking has owned you And then you want to make up this fairy tale delusion that he had to cheat to beat you. No, he was just better than you. He was fucking better than you. Like,
Michigan.
oh my
was
God.
better
Oh
than
my
them.
God. They videotape from the stands. Nobody gives a shit. That is not the difference maker you guys want it to be. You changed your fucking signs. All the videotape in the world does not help that.
Right.
Except you've been getting your ass kicks. Your team is fucking soft. You just hired a soft ass defensive coordinator. Good fucking job there.
Yeah, good luck with that,
It's not
Matt
changing.
Patricia.
Your culture is not as strong as you want it to be. I mean, like, look, dude, at the end of the day, Connor Stalions has every right to voice his opinion if his name is mentioned. And social media. It's up to you. It is up to you, the individual, to let that affect you or not. It is a sign of personal development if you let the opinions of others affect you. It means you're a thin-skinned bitch if that shit bothers you. Even our own fan base. I'll call it our own fan base. Look, if you don't like Connor Stalions, that's fine.
Sure.
No one is saying you have to like Connor Stalions. If what he did bothers you, that's fine too. But if you're upset that he is speaking, that's a fucking you problem. That's a you problem, bro. He has every right in the world to speak. And then to the people who want to say, well, it's going to mess up the NCAA, there's nothing he is doing that is going to affect the verdict. It's coming out in the next few weeks. It's done. He's not revealing anything. He was simply explaining in that video how you can diagnose that play and why Jack Sawyer is wrong. So if somebody, and my battery's low, if somebody is bothered by somebody speaking on a social public platform, honestly, look in the mirror and ask yourself why. Observe your fucking emotion and then learn to control that shit. Because that is some soft ass shit. And that is my take on that, John. Quit being a thin-skinned bitch. It's time to grow up, boys.
Yeah, and if you have an issue, if you are a Michigan fan or quote unquote Michigan fan like Burks, who has an issue with us talking about Connor Stalions and being sympathetic, instead of running to the principal and trying to tattle, start your own show. That's what I said earlier. Like Burks and these people, they can start their own show and do it however they want. But we're going to continue to give our strong opinions on these subjects. And it's hard not to like the guy. It's hard not to like somebody who went to the obviously the Navy, the Academy in Annapolis, right? Because famous head coaches who are successful did the same thing and joined the military. The fact that he wrote a 550, 600-page manifesto, the fact that he dedicated so much to his craft, even but in the documentary, you see the pre-2021 when he was literally just using TV and literally just using all 22 and TV broadcasts to find the signals, and he was able to actually do a decent job of doing it straight from those methods, which, by the way, are completely 100% legal. And so you can't help but to kind of, I think deep down, some of these Ohio State fans are like, they wish that they had a staff member that had this kind of passion, this kind of energy, this kind of love for their team. That,
Yeah. So I was asked again today, why do we like Connor Stalions? And it's there's actually many reasons why I like Connor Stalions. But it comes down to this. He bleeds maize and blue. He is a diehard of the program. Yes, he pushed a gray area. Yes, he made a mistake. He made a few mistakes. He should not have helped Central Michigan out. Should not have done that. But he was feeling confident, dude. Like, hey, I can do it. Yeah, let's beat little brother. He is such a Michigan fan. He wants to help Central Michigan beat little brother. I can't say I'm entirely mad about it. Not the best decision. And then regarding the sending of family, boys, he just was trying to fucking master his craft. It's the reason why, and we will name zero names. There's a reason why professional athletes take performance-enhancing drugs. Because they are trying to master and be the best at their craft. Now, it's cheating, But I promise you, some of your favorite athletes are doing it. Promise you. Doesn't make it okay. Doesn't make it right. And what Connor Stalions did, no one is saying that sending family members and friends to games, although the rule is weak as fuck because it's really a cost-effective rule. Yes, it's still a rule. Still a rule. Now, should the crime be the hammer? No, it shouldn't be. But at the end of the day, you can't do it against the rule. So unfortunately, Connor Stalions was very aggressive. He thought he found a gray area in the rule book, which is why me and John have the hypothesis that Connor sent friends and families to games because that is not specified in the rule book, and it's not. So that's where we are there. But at the end of the day, Connor Stalions is a diehard Michigan fan who is very aggressive and very obsessive with his craft. Not mad at that. Obviously, he made a misstep. And guess what? You got to fucking pay. It's like anybody. If you make a fucking mistake, you could be a great person. You still got to own it. And that's what it is. So, yes, that's why we support Connor Stalions. And he fucking hates Ohio State as much as we do. How can I hate somebody like that? Can't do it.
And thanks to Alex Martin for backing us up. By the way, Alex Martin, a Buckeye. We need passion at Ohio State. That's right. And so I think that deep down might be part of the reason why they're upset, is that Connor Stalions was passionate. And what was he at CMU? You be the judge.
Looks like Uncle Tony to me.
Hey.
Don't look like Connor at all.
All right.
I mean, I'll tell you this. It took some balls to do that. The disguise and everything, bro.
Did. So here's Dom with the 5. So Dom says, this shit is so old. How does sign stealing accuse away Michigan rushing for 972 yards in the last 4 games? Thank you.
Exactly.
Yeah. Dom's a good dude. Dom is one of the mods over at the Maze Madman show, and good dude. And so we appreciate coming over to ours also.
There's so many things that can be shown in all 4 of those games where Ohio State misplayed their hand. Hey, guess what? I don't need your signs to stop you from running up the A gap when I got Kenneth Grant and Mason Graham. I don't need your signs. Don't need them.
Yeah. Yeah. And literally in 2021, how did Connor Stalions stop your interior D line from performing? Like, how was Connor Stalions the reason your interior D line kept letting Hassan Haskins run up the A gap? Like,
or Donovan Edwards.
Right? Absolutely.
Yeah, here's the end of the day. Here's the reality too. If Ohio State would just say, you know what, we lost, we got to do better there. That's it, boys. Like, I can't talk shit there because that's what it is. It's like, just own it and be like, you know what, Michigan has our number the last few years. We got to be better that game. That's it. It's that simple. But you won't do it because the reality is this. Ohio State fans are too fucking entitled, bro. And majority of that fan base, not all, they don't know football prior to 2001. So they think this is an expectation. But if you look at what happened from 1980 all the way to 2000, you would see Ohio State did not dominate Michigan. And how'd the 10-year war go? Who won? Was it Bo or was it Woody? Oh, that's right. It was Bo. The greatest 10-year stretch of the rivalry, some would say. It was Bo. So shut the fuck up. We taught you football. We taught you how to dot an I. Remember that, son.
Facts. Folks, I do want to remind everybody that we do have a call for moderators right now because we are just a few weeks away from things ramping up big time with the season. We're going to have our post-game shows back. We're going to need mods. We do have a couple of new ones. If you're a dedicated member, especially if you're a member of our channel, or somebody who has been around, contributed, been on a lot, and you want to be a mod, let us know in the chat or hit us up in DM. all we really need you to do is post the links of things, post the links of guests, the guest Twitter accounts when guests come on, and try to just keep the chat being nice to each other. You don't have to do any of the hard stuff. I'll do the hard stuff of like kicking people out and timing people out. But just like so that we can just to keep the peace in chat so that people stay good to each other. Because it gets a little, if you thought this was something, wait till we get to September. That's all I gotta say.
Wasn't there 3 people who want to be mods? Did we make them mods, John?
Yeah, I've already done that. But I still think we're going to need a couple more, because when we get to the especially the Oklahoma post-game show, I think we're going to need all hands on deck. So especially if you're a member, let us know.
I'm going to pull up a comment, John, and let me just, it's easy to pass a test when you already have the answers. You changed your signs. We don't have the answers, Steve. What are you not comprehending, brother? Even Jack Sawyer said we legitimately beat you, not only this past year, but the year prior. And guess what? It was the year prior to that as well. So what are you not grasping? We didn't have your fucking signs, dog. And guess what? Our run to the title, we didn't have anybody's signs. You all knew. Michigan State huddled up and lost 49-0. How'd it go? We were just better than you.
Yeah. Yeah.
We have
State was also doing check with me with their quarterback. So they were literally running up to the offensive coordinator.
Yeah. Like this fucking denial is nuts. Like Buckeye Scoop did your fan base a disservice, because many of you are going to look like fucking clowns, bro. And you know what? We're going to fucking do receipt season and cook all of you.
I can't wait. It's gonna be delicious.
Because I swear to God, bro.
I do just want to star this one because it's a friend of the Copinas are friends of the program. Kaoki. Kaoki's here. Evening fella's been busy, but love you guys. Love the show. And X have been hilarious on this topic.
Yeah, I love you, brother.
Hey, anytime you want to come by, I know you're busy. I know you got stuff going on, but we love having you anytime, man.
Yep.
Friend of the show, and we're pushing for Micah to really get some time this year, and I can't wait to see what he can do. So even more so. All right, folks. Well, that does it for shout out to thank you, Kinetic. Shout out to Kaoki #Team Sunny. So there it is. All right, folks. So just a reminder that we don't just do this show every week. We have we do 2 live shows for you every single week, even in the off season. And we got one for you Thursday at 8 p.m. Eastern with TJ and Johnny Olden Jr. call-in show.
Yeah, man. And fall camp is upon us now. The call-in show is tomorrow, Wednesday, 8 p.m. Why?
Oh.
Why, John? Because we got football, baby. Lions play Thursday. I can't do it to my people. I can't do it to my football watchers. First game of the year. The appetizer is here. No, you're good. I
feel like
bro.
I knew that at one. All right, okay. There we go.
There's plenty of more important things in life, John. But yeah. So look, Wednesday, 8 p.m. Me and Johnny Olden tomorrow. Let's do this. We've had some new callers lately. That's been nice. Just enjoying it. We've had some great shows. I think last Thursday we went 3 hours again. Community's been coming strong, man. Enjoy it. And yeah, man, just look forward to seeing everybody tomorrow.
Always coming, never not coming. That's our channel. And I love that, because then and then we have the Michigan West, aka the Chargers, playing against the Lions Thursday night.
Right. So we'll see Jim Harbaugh Thursday night. But let's also remember this. We are the originators of the spread and smash offense.
Let's go.
John is the true. John is the true originator. As soon as Chip Lindsey got hired, he fucking co-signed that shit. So
woo! Yeah, and we've had Isaiah Hole.
Yeah, we've heard people use it, which is fine.
Dennis Fithian. So
which is fine. Zero issue with anyone using it. But just saying, let's not forget. Spread and smash.
Here we go. All right, folks. Don't forget to follow us on X. You can find those right here at the bottom, TJ_Ronin and at John Diadamo. Any final thoughts for us, TJ?
Yeah, man, football is here, bro. I can like taste it. Like there's like so much news coming out. You got NFL training camp starting. You got college camp starting. The boys have reported. We're about to get in a lot of those like 1-minute videos that we can't wait to watch, and it's here. I mean, it's going to go quick, boys. In 1 month, we play. We're 32 days away from our first. I think it's 32 days away from our first game or something like that. Yeah, man. I mean, I'm ready for it, man. Summer's going quick though. That's the only possible potential negative, but I'm ready for football.
Yeah, same here. So again, thank you everybody. We'll see you tomorrow night for the Michigan call-in show with TJ and Johnny. And as always, Mark Rogers, voice of college football, has an announcement for you about using the Amazon link if you're already doing your shopping there. We'll see you next time. Go Blue. See you tomorrow night.
You can make a difference here at the Voice of College Football. Use the Amazon link. Financially contribute to the Voice of College Football without spending a penny. Same shopping experience. It's easy. Go to any video on any channel. Go to the description section and grab the link right next to the capital letters that say Amazon. Use that link and Amazon will instantaneously convert to your account, settings, history, everything intact, just like whatever link you use right now. No difference. Pay no attention to the product that you see right there. Just go search what you want. Don't forget the Amazon link. Thank you for your support. Sincerely, the Voice of College Football.